Hey there, YouTube. Darth Stacker here. Today's interview is with Darth Plata, aka the Hydroconomist. He's here to tell his story about how his channel got nixed, his move to Twitch, and his possible reemergence on YouTube. He does coin roll hunting, stacking, cryptocurrency, amongst other things. Also, stay tuned for my next auction, July 8th, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is a Wednesday. See you there.
There is a great disturbance in the force.
Don't know the power of the dark side.
Hey there, YouTube. Darth Stacker here. I got an interview today. I know it's going to be a good one. I got the Hydroconomist, aka Darth Plata. He used to have a very extensive channel on YouTube, and we're going to find out what happened with that and talk about many things more, including crypto. That's what he specializes in, and as you can guess from his name, hydroponics also. So, how you doing, buddy?
Doing okay, man. Thanks for having me on. 'Tis I, Darth Plata, the steward of silver, the silver sultan, dark side something. I had to get one of those out. So,
Yeah. So,
but yeah, we're doing okay, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me on again. And I really like what you're doing here. By the way, been trying to keep up with your interviews and stuff too.
Thanks, man. Did you check out the International Stacker video?
I got through most of it. I was like 3/4 through. I was doing paperwork and stuff, but I thought it was interesting when he said he actually started in crypto and then moved to metals and stuff. That was incredible.
Yeah, that's backwards for most people.
Right. But I mean, I don't know. That's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. So
yeah. So how did you start getting into stacking?
Well, I was in college, and at the time I was getting a degree in economics. So, and also at the time I remember there was like that zeitgeist fear, like scare imagery, very I don't know how you would explain it, but it's very conspiracy ridden. But they got to the part they were talking about the Federal Reserve, right? And alongside of that, I'm also formally learning about, money banking, how our money systems work at the same time congruently. And I'm like, wow, for a conspiracy flick, it's actually really spot on. And, that's where it kind of opened up the rabbit hole. And, we got to the part in the history of economics. We're talking about the changing money systems, going from the puka shells to the pigs to the gold and silver and so on. And that's like when it really started hitting home. Just started, kind of doing what everybody else was doing out there, looking up YouTube videos and just kind of trying to figure it out for myself alongside my formal education. And I've pretty much been stacking ever since.
So what got you into crypto? Same thing?
Sorta, because I had already been stacking for quite a while. Like when I first heard about crypto, I was already out of college, right? So like probably really fresh out of college. And, once you're out of college, everything naturally. So when I first heard about Bitcoin, I was like, no, it's fake. No. And I was also like a big precious metals maximalist too, so like nothing better than the metals, nothing. So of course I knew everything. But so I rubbed it off at first, and that was 2000. That had to have been around 2010 or something. And then it kind of came back into my view again in 2016 because I was actually diversifying. I was already in stocks and stuff, and I was looking for other means, right? Just like a lot of us out there are. And crypto came back into my in my scope again. And then I was like, all right, well, I'll take it a little bit more seriously. So I started learning about it. And then I started getting really involved with it. And pretty much within a couple of months of just, getting the basics understood, getting it under my belt, I started mining it like right away. I said screw just buying it outright. I just, back then it was a lot cheaper to mine it too. So
So, what exactly is a Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is an intangible currency that's embedded into the internet. It's a peer-to-peer transactional system with an immutable public ledger. And it's been working for, since its inception. It's been working for 10 years strong. So it's a way to conduct banking without the need of a central bank. It's a decentralized form of payment.
Okay. So for those of us like I'm brand new to this, I only started to read about it since I was talking to you about doing an interview and hanging out on your channel. Basically, I'm still really fuzzy.
You're
Break
not
it
going to
down.
learn it overnight. Like
Yeah.
I can tell you 100%. Like my first year in it, like I did really good, but like I also made a lot of mistakes too. So you just I don't want to tell people to jump right in. Yes, like research as much as you can. Some of it's just going to bounce off of your head because it's so laden with tech lingo. You don't get it, So some of that stuff you're just not going to get. Like I don't claim to be a pro, at all. But I've come to really appreciate the technology. It's one thing when you go in it to, try and make money. I mean, sure, you can make a ton of money in this space, but you could also get super wrecked. And I don't 100% believe everybody knows what they're doing here. So, but once you play with it, once you get in there and start understanding it a little bit better, and then maybe doing some transactions, you kind of start seeing the benefits of it. You start seeing the benefits of being a part of a decentralized system, why else are we in precious metals? Because we don't like our centralized system as it is, where we have it there as an insurance. But I mean, I guess that's a different discussion, but it can be intimidating. I get that. It's, it takes
It's
time,
a
and a
real
lot of people
barrier
don't
to
want to put the
entry.
time into it.
If you can't fathom it down to, I mean, I know what silver is. I can hold it in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the price go up and down. I can kind of, even at an entry level, I can kind of figure out like the effects on, the things that are going to affect its price, positively and negatively. But now we have this like tenuous, intangible thing that I'm supposed to invest in, and I don't know. I can't feel out like I can't even see it on a ledger really and figure it out and know what I'm talking about. So I can't say like, something's going to happen in the Middle East that's going to raise the price of oil, and that's going to have an effect on, how that's going to affect the price of my Bitcoin. So it's very difficult to even to people who want to have a little more grasp, a little more control over their money, to jump in with both feet.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't recommend anybody to jump in both feet in anything that they do. You got to have a plan. You got to do your research. You got to figure out what your risk appetite is before you do anything. Really, I'm an advocate for crypto because I see it for more than what most people see it for. They just see it as a way to make money. But I think it's a step, and it's the next evolutionary step in our money. Frankly, it has to happen. I'm not saying that's going to be Bitcoin. I mean, most likely, unfortunately, this is going to probably come down to a centralized blockchain dollar, which that's in my opinion, that's going to be a very dangerous precedent. But our currency is already 97% digital. We're just a few technological steps away from completely putting everything on the blockchain. But anyways, money systems change. It's just what it comes down to. And I think that's the big epic leap that people are having the biggest problem with, because, I get, and I'm in precious metals too, obviously. So like, I get holding your wealth in your hand. It's in your hand. You hold it, you own it, no third party risk. That's why we do it. Crypto, in a way, it fulfills a lot of these properties that are in precious metals, except you got to take that epic leap of it's intangible. changing your value system from tangibles to intangibles. It's a huge leap for anybody to take. I understand. But it does serve a purpose. It solves problems at the same time. It's about problem solving, not just speculating what price is going to be, because it's a marriage of economics and technology.
I think that's probably the best way to define it right there is the marriage between economics and technology. That's a great thing. If that was you, you're a genius.
I'm trying to lay it down as best as I can. It's as I understand it in my scope of the world. That's kind of how I see it.
So, what are some of the things that affect the price of a one Bitcoin or any of the other types?
Well, you have your electricity demands when it comes to proof of work style cryptos like Bitcoin. It requires an insane amount of energy. And so, at some point somewhere in the world, there is that bottom dollar figure in which it takes for that miner to pay their electricity, right? So you have a way of figuring out your equilibrium and price there. From that, you're working with scarcity. It's programmed money. It's programmed to only have so many to ever exist. Unlike gold and silver, where we have our known above ground supplies, but there's always going to be those future below ground supplies that nobody talks about. Nobody even knows because we haven't discovered it yet, but it can be discovered. Let's not get started on mining asteroids, right?
Right. So
that could totally wreck the precious metals markets, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon.
But not in our lifetime.
No.
Started that. They landed on one asteroid, but that doesn't mean they're going to start bringing stuff back.
Yeah, we need to get Bruce Willis, I don't want the world, blah, blah,
So does the crypto market affect the precious metals market or vice versa?
Well, I don't know. I mean, and I think it's interesting because of your interview with International Sacker saying like he started in crypto and he ended up going over to precious metals. I mean, I don't see why this can't be a symbiotic relationship. And, and going back to the proof of work style coins that are out there like Bitcoin and currently Ethereum and Litecoin and so on. You need this hardware to run the algorithms. You need this heavy duty computing power. And what's the best thing to get the best performance out of that computing power? Gold, silver, maybe some cases platinum, So I could see there being a symbiotic relationship there almost. And then of course you have the other fundamentals. It's rare, it's scarce. And, I really don't. I mean, heck, even some people are saying like Bitcoin's better than gold because you know what? I don't need to haul around a safe to carry my wealth. It's completely borderless now. So maybe that could be a negative relationship there, but I don't. It doesn't have the track record that gold and silver have. Yeah. Bitcoin's only like 10 years old, and as much as I love it, we don't have enough data.
True. It's what I was referring to, but that's a good point you make. But what I was referring to is more like the market, the stock market, is opposite of what gold and silver are allegedly. Mm-hmm. So if the stocks go down, precious metals are going to go up, and vice versa. So is there any type of relationship with precious metals and crypto?
I don't know. I mean, if anything, there are some out there saying that there's actually a relationship congruent with that of like, say, the Dow. It almost moves the same way as the Dow sometimes, because we are getting a lot of institutional investors as well, which can get kind of pumpy dumpy. But that's also why we need more users to kind of reduce that volatility of the manipulation, because we see that in the silver markets and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
But I just I'm not really seeing how they could totally directly negatively affect one another. Whereas, like you were saying, in the stock market, the dollar is almost permanently like inversely related to gold and silver. When the dollar is strong, metals are low. When the metals are strong, the dollar is low.
Right.
But and I think a lot of people got disappointed when on that first flash crash. on that first flash crash, everybody was like, "Oh, this is it, this is it," and gold and silver didn't do anything. The manipulated spot price went down, but physical kind of stayed where it was and a
Right.
little higher. But yeah, nobody got to see that $50 silver and $2,000 gold, and it's
Not
like,
yet.
well, that's not going to happen yet. If you look at the last data set, well, it didn't happen until well after the initial, or at least the beginning of the last recession. So I still think, there's plenty of time, plenty of time.
So you had a YouTube channel, and through the nefarious workings behind the scenes of the YouTube world, you kind of lost it. So tell us like a brief synopsis of how that happened. Like you had the 5,000 subs.
I was just shy of 5,000. I was like at 48 something. So I was about to break 5K easily.
And you talked about precious metals. You talked about crypto. You talked about hydroponics. And I remember you saying your hydroponics is probably the more popular subject that you had, but you had a lot of content. And
yeah, it was like
it all went away. How did that happen?
It was like a variety channel. I originally started off as like a hydroponic channel, and then I had I was like, well, I'm not a one trick pony. I got my hands in so many things, and that's just how I am. So I was like, I mean, hydroponics is great and all, but I got to do more. And it's because it's stuff that I love doing. So I figured if it's stuff that I like doing, well, then I should be showing people. So that's when I did the brand change to the Hydroconomist. And I covered precious metals. For a stint, I covered crypto, but that was also in like 2017, where I was still earning my stripes too. So, that was kind of a rough, rocky road. So I didn't fully go into crypto, just would occasionally touch on it. My favorite content actually to produce was my travel vlogs, which is like my least favorite or the least favorite out of people. So, I mean, I guess not everybody wants to see a 30-year-old big kid at Disney all the time. They're my favorite to produce. It's so much fun. But yeah, and so I got this variety channel thing going, and I'm doing everything YouTube wanted me to do. I was getting trolls, and I would still comment back positively and comment back. I was doing all the little tricks of the trade, right? And just within like weeks, like just something happened. And like one video got a community strike, and one of those videos was like just an explainer video. Actually, I believe it was the video about me changing over to like the brand name Hydroconomist instead of just DRC Mr. Strawberry, which is what I was before. And so like an explainer video that got, it made no sense. So I'm like, okay, get blocked from uploading or whatever for a week or something. And then I was like, okay, well, and at the time I was actually kind of going through some stuff. So like I had slowed down on uploading on YouTube at this time. So, just kind of hanging back and recollecting and trying to, get the creative juices flowing and, try and get out of the rut I was in my life. But then here it comes again, another strike. And
so what did you do with that first video that you got a strike for? Did you leave it up, or did you delete it?
Well, they give you the option to, review it or whatever. So naturally I did what anybody does, review it, and it like almost immediately got rejected. And it said for like hazardous and dangerous material at first, which I don't know how talking about plants is dangerous. And then once it like finalized, after I had like tried to rebuttal it, it said regulated goods and services. And that was pretty much the same thing for the next two videos, which resulted in 3 strikes, which resulted in Thanos. You're Thanos.
So, and those all 3 videos were on the hydroponic subject.
Well, no, and that's the even weirder thing. Like one was like about kind of like my brand change and what I'm doing, what I'm going forward in, here's my methodology. The next one was about me talking about playing the Bitcoin to gold ratio. And I had bought gold with Bitcoin, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. I should have held on to that Bitcoin, honestly. I'm not going to lie. So like just another boring 10-minute explainer video of my goofy face just talking, so like what? And I don't even remember what the third one was. It's just by the time it all happened, it's like you get nothing. You're done. You can't tell your followers, hey, follow me over on Twitch, or, you can still find me on Instagram or Facebook, whatever. You just been automatically silenced from reaching out to your people that supported you, and they don't know the better, because that's just how YouTube works. They flush you out of their suggested videos and you're done.
So you had no recourse, really.
I mean, I rebutted. I finally got on the phone with somebody, and it just ended up being another waste of time. Like, you're not going to talk to anybody worthwhile. You're not going to be able to be a Karen and talk to their manager. I asked, I was like, what can I do, man? Like, please, what you would think, like, there's this snippet of data that says this is what was wrong in this specific video. It could be your video, your titles, this, or this. And it's like, if it was something that I was doing, if it was so horrendously wrong, why wouldn't you tell me how to change it instead of just Thanosing me? I have 5,000 subscribers. I have no incentive to mess this up. And yeah, the guy just ended up, well, it's a free platform. They even say in the bylaws, or like, in the deep writings, it's like, don't even bother getting a lawyer, because, it's a free platform. You can't do anything.
So you migrated over to Twitch after your Thanosing.
Well, yeah, luckily I was already set up dual streaming with Twitch and DLive and stuff. So like, luckily for that super awesome core of people that followed me into my Discord, into Twitch, and, just supporting the hell out of me over these last few months, helping me rebuild. If it wasn't for my core people like you and AG Chopsticks, Tessa Cunningham, I mean, even Seeker makes his appearances, and Ravenhawk, it's great. It's great that even though I had to lose 5,000 subscribers, I still got the core best people out of all of that. So, but yeah, I was set up on Twitch, and I'm growing on Twitch now, and it's honestly, I'm not even trying to be a Twitch boy, but I'm treated much better there than I ever been on YouTube.
Well, that's good. I mean, and at least it's almost like you were ready just in case something like that happened, and you already had it set up. And it was just fortunate that because if you'd have just like completely Thanos, and we had no idea what happened to you,
no, everything I
would have completely lost you. Yeah,
into the ether.
Yep. So, new subject, I guess. Would you say you're a prepper, a stacker, collector, or flipper, or combination of both, of all four?
I gotta be a combination of all four, and like, I moved through the cycles too. When I started, I was a stacker. That is it. That's all I do is stack. And I got pretty dang good at it. But I hit to a point where I was like, well, I can't just do this, and I diversified and stuff. Enter stocks, crypto, all that crap. But then, so like, I was stacking for kind of prepping reasons to, for an economical SHTF situation. I felt that was where I could possibly shine. So yeah, it's a little bit for prepping, a little bit for stacking. I started doing my adult collecting, so there's a little bit of collecting in there. And then of course, I do the live stream Thursday coin roll hunts where people donate and I give them silver bags. So I mean, I'm essentially flipping there. Let's not beat around the bush.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I do get to fulfill the flipping side of things, but that's kind of fun too, because like, I have a whole stack just dedicated to people who want silver from me. Like, that's the best part. Like, I get to stack my stack, and then their stack, and anytime I get something, I'm like, oh well, I got to get that for them too.
Right. So we give us the state of the union, I guess, the state of the current state of what coin roll hunting is going on. I can remember back when I was a kid, we would get just back in your regular change on a regular basis, probably 40% of the change you get back at the the convenience store was silver.
Hmm.
I'm 52, so we're talking like mid 70s. You could still
Hmm.
get standing Liberty quarters, lots of Mercury dimes, Buffalo nickels, like all the time. Nowadays, that's really, really rare. And I see sometimes people do their coin roll hunting, you get completely a goose egg.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's pretty much. I mean, I started coin roll hunting like, man, 2011, 12, something like that. And like honestly, I went bank to bank and just got all the loose rolls and whatever banks had. And I did find a 40 percenter, like first time ever, and like then I was hooked. You know, just finding one, even though you're saying, oh, back in the day we could find a bunch. Well, but still, not everybody knows about their money. And and as far as I'm concerned, if there's a grandpa and there's a kid that's going to be hitting grandpa's stack at some point. And that's unfortunate, but that's why they're still hunters, because it does happen.
Right.
What was it? Rob finds treasure. He just got that like multi-$1,000 load of silver. Like what? I mean, it may not be as lucrative as it used to be, but this still happens.
Just another average
Occasionally.
stacker. He hit the mother load too. He had
Mhm.
like dozens and dozens of 40 percenters. It was pretty crazy.
I've had a couple of streams myself. Of course, they're not on YouTube anymore. But yeah, no, you can ask the people who were there, like Mel's Coin and maybe even AG. He was there for one of them. I found like almost 100 pieces one time of silver, mostly 90s. So it's not impossible. And like AG Chopstick says, man, the patience, it pays off
Yeah.
at some point.
Well, the question was, do you think coin roll hunting is dead or dying? It sounds like you're not going to say that it's not dead or dying.
I mean, not for me. I like doing it. It's kind of fun. Like even last night, I was box battling with AG Chopsticks, and I still found a 40 percenter. Like it's right here in front of me, a 1968 40 percenter, which won me the box battle for AG Chopsticks, and I box battles on Tuesdays. So the Sith continues to rule the galaxy. But it might be slim pickings these days, but it can still happen. So, and it's fun. It's a good time. It's a good opportunity for me to connect with people, at least via the stream. So we at least have that going on. But not everybody's doing a stream either. So, if you're in it to try and make money, well, just solely on hunting, well, I hope you got a few hours and you'll just like doing it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. You gotta like doing it, because you're gonna get bored real quick
True.
if you're not finding anything.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've the first time I saw that Rob's find treasure and he hit the mother load, like I was all about it. Like I'm putting together some cash. I'm going to get a box, and I haven't done it yet, but one of these days I'll do it.
Well, in the worst case, you don't find anything, you get to flip it back into paper cash. It's honestly the cheapest hobby you could have.
Right.
Um,
Once you
I
come up with
mean,
the
other than
initial,
your time.
yeah. Once you buy the initial box, you can flip that.
Yeah, just keep flipping that into the next box, into the next one. It's a beautiful system.
Yeah.
And if you're good to your bank ladies, give them that wink every now and again. Hey, girl,
Hey, how you doing?
I got a Death Star out back, man. Yo, man, can you look out for some of these for me? Maybe bring them donuts too. Maybe that won't work too well. I'm not that smooth.
Yeah, you can't argue with the power of donuts.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I got to bring them some. I found some silver, so.
So, what are your favorite things to stack and collect?
Oh boy, if that's not the loaded question of the century there. Ethereum actually right now, but that's beside the point. Silver, okay.
Or gold.
Well, huh?
Or gold.
Or gold, yeah. I really love kookaburras. Okay, I'm such a slucket for kookaburras. That's actually the only 1 ounce collection I have, a complete 1 ounce collection of kookaburras. So that's something I'm kind of proud of, and it fulfills the collection side of things too. Um, really licking my lips at like CC Morgan's and stuff. I got my first one not that long ago, so that's like a nice little adult piece for me.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the child side of me is getting all of these custom silver Star Wars figures. Oh my
All
God.
right.
I
Yeah.
did just get another one today, by the way.
Oh yeah. What's that?
Oh, it's gonna be a Waka.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Oof. um,
Well, I can't wait to see that.
I'm all over the board though, and I go through waves and cycles in my collecting and stacking as well. When I started, it would be just like only generic, and then like only constitutional, and then I just start going through these cycles. Now it's like, okay, I'll do ASCs for a while, then Maples for a while, then that for a while. I
I
just
think that's
feel
pretty
like,
typical.
I think that's just
A lot
how
of
it
people are like
happens.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty rare you get somebody that just only stacks ASCs or only Maple Leafs or you know.
Right, right. And I tried doing that, I think, in some points, and I was like, no, this is boring. I mean, and ASCs are honestly the most boring coin out there, if you ask me. I don't care.
Controversy.
Yep, yep. I'm gonna say it right here, right now. Give me an ASC, I'm gonna melt it.
Oh no!
Come at me. I'm the Sith Lord.
So
Melt it all.
other than your Star Wars walker, you had any good buys lately?
Um, it's been getting tougher. It's been getting a little bit more tough out there. I had to actually even go to Sleaze Bay to lock in a couple of deals because I do like to stack for the channel, of course, for donators. So I got to make sure that I'm getting them good stuff. I'm not just getting them generic all the time or one type of thing all the time. I got to keep it interesting. So it's hard to really find those bulk lots that has that variety I'm looking for. But sometimes you can find it on Sleaze Bay, and I always message the people. I don't take what they have for what they have like for sale or buy it now. I don't take that. I'm like, no, I'm going to question these. What can we really do today? That's not everybody's favorite thing to do, but I've been dealing with eBay for literally well over a decade, so it's
Yeah.
nothing new to me.
Well, may I suggest Reddit and Facebook?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Facebook too. Facebook's really good for that as well. Believe it or not. There's a couple of groups out there. Oh man, I could get lost in that.
Yeah.
I've had to pull myself away quite a few times.
Reddit's got some good places to look to. PMS for sale, coins for sale, silver deals.
Now, believe it or not, I did not believe Reddit would actually be a good place for that. And even more weird, I'm not on Reddit. It is so weird. You would think someone like me would be on Reddit.
You look like a redditor.
Ah,
Well, you got an hour to kill. I highly suggest jumping in there. It's you can find a lot of good deals, and they have a feedback system just like eBay, so you can keep track of who's doing what.
Yeah, I know they do like upvotes and stuff too. Like, wait, didn't I hear like Reddit's going to be doing something blockchain related or cryptocurrency related?
I have not heard that.
No, I thought I heard something. I don't know. You scroll so much stuff throughout the day, you don't even know what you saw.
Okay, here is the $64,000 question.
Uh-huh.
Really obvious. You have security concerns? You show your face.
No, I'm not really concerned. I've spent my life in sales, so I think if you're selling cars to anybody, you're already at risk, But no, I have a sales background, and I'm goofy. Okay, let's just get right to it. I'm weird, but that works for me. I'm a clown, and I'm very animated, and you got to see my goofy face while I'm doing stuff, and it makes sense. It makes sense per the video algorithms. It makes sense for thumbnails. So, and no, I am not concerned about security because I've taken all my measures that I felt I've needed to. Like many of us out there, we fully support our Second Amendment rights, and I am no different. you know, and just however you take care of yourself is how you take care of yourself.
Yeah, I find myself agreeing with you sometimes. So as I start my channel, I still haven't decided on whether I'm going to do face reveal or not. But to stay on the safe side for now, I'm staying behind the camera, doing the hands thing maybe. But there
Well,
may
and that
come a
does
day
work for
soon.
some people.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it does. You know,
Well,
it's
clearly they say people that show their face on their channel, they do much better. It's a lot easier to engage and connect with the person, the
mhm.
presenter, instead of hands or just a blank screen.
Well, yeah, and here's another little sales tip for you. You know, when you're talking to people, talk with your thumbs out. You know, with your thumbs out, it keeps engaging people.
Yeah, I never heard about the thumbs thing. I know the hand gestures and head nods.
Yeah, you know, eye contact, thumbs out, it makes you more approachable instead of like closing your hands or, you know, putting your arms around your, side like this. It makes you less approachable. It's like it's weird. You wouldn't think this stuff, but like all of that stuff really does play into people's buying decisions. So, you know, I've been in a car dealership pretty much since I was 12 years old. So like I've been around this my entire life. So it's, you know, why not take what I've learned and use it out in the world?
Can you sell ice cubes to an Eskimo?
Oh, dude, back in the 90s, I could. Back in the 90s, anybody could. It's harder these days, but no, I mean, you got to build relationships with people, what it really comes down to. You know, sure, you could be all nice and puppy and kitten farts and thumbs out and eye contact, but no, you got to be a genuine dude.
Oh yeah,
At
yeah,
the end of it all, you got to build that relationship with people. It's not just about, you know, getting an ass in that seat, getting it out the door.
right, yeah. People will sniff you out pretty quick if you're just about
Oh yeah,
the turnover.
absolutely.
So we can find you on Twitch. What's the handle name?
It is twitch.tv/hydroconomist. You could also go to my website and find all the resources you need, hydroconomist.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, so on and so forth. And on YouTube, I have like 3 new channels, probably going to add more. Because it turns out I really like creating characters now. So hence Darth Plata, which you gave birth to, I do recall.
I do I get 10%?
Well, we'll see how this YouTube thing goes out again, because I got hit pretty hard by that.
Yeah, I'm
you
sure.
know,
Not to mention the
um,
blow to the ego and to the self-esteem. Like that would kill
oh,
me.
it was terrible, man. Like everything was like coming down at once in my life at that point, and it's like, why? You know, I couldn't. It was bad.
Yeah,
Everything was bad.
I can. Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah,
There's
you can.
been plenty of famous cases that of uh, people with like millions of subscribers, and they get their pee slapped for 1, 2, 3, and you're out with no explanation. And I think the most famous one is a conservative comedian, Louder with Crowder. Are you
Mhm.
familiar with him?
No.
No, he's really conservative, kind of goofball. He's from Canada, but
Mhm.
he's occasionally has a funny bit or makes a point. I've watched him occasionally, but he was on the verge of he got demonetized, on the verge of uh, getting excommunicated completely, but he managed to save his channel by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, but
But he lost out on a lot.
I don't have millions of subscribers. You know, when you're on our level, dude, it's Thanos.
Right, right,
You know, yeah, I don't have lawyers. I don't have, you know, I'm just a one man show here,
right.
and you know, occasional help with some other YouTubers and friends and stuff. But you know, I don't get that. You know,
Yeah,
and here's one example that really has me irked. Um, I don't know if you've heard of Trevon James.
sounds
Oops.
familiar. Sorry, folks. We had a power issue at my house. I dropped the signal, and so I had to reconnect with the hydroconomist, and we basically tried to pick up where we left off. There was a little bit of trying to figure out where it was back and forth, but we eventually figured it out, and it was difficult to splice the two pieces together. So I'll just connect the two pieces here by saying we lost power, and then we picked up where we left off, talking about Trevon James. So here we go.
Trevon James.
Trevon James, yeah.
Yeah, he was like one of the bigger ones out there, that pushed BitConnect, which was a huge Ponzi scheme back in 2017 in the crypto space. And even people who didn't know crypto, like, they heard about it in a lot of cases. So it was pretty big, but it was genius, though. I mean, they convinced people to put Bitcoin onto their platform, to trade it for BitConnect tokens, which they would trade. Well, they would take those BitConnect tokens and they would lock it up and get 1% a day or something on it, right? And so now they have your BitConnect, or now they have your Bitcoin and they have your BitConnect tokens. But anyways, this dude was pushing this, right? And yeah, sure, he didn't create it or nothing, but he convinced a lot of people too. He made hand over fist money with the referrals that he was getting, there was people making horrible decisions, like putting out second mortgages on their homes.
Oh my God.
Just so they can get into the platform, because it was really gamified. You go into it. Oh, look, I made 1.02% a day. Ooh, I'm making money in crypto, and just it devastated so many people. But yet today he still has his YouTube. Yep, he still has his YouTube. It's ridiculous. And I experienced the BitConnect thing too. It was 2017. I was still earning my stripes. So, like I said, I did it okay in crypto, but there was still mistakes made. And those were one of those mistakes, because I didn't know what I was doing. So, and even today, you still got to watch out for that stuff. Like, it's unfortunately, it's with anything out there, and there's always going to be somebody taking advantage of someone else.
Yeah. I really appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot for the interview.
Yeah, no, dude, I really appreciate you having me on here and, letting me get my word out there and, hopefully remind people that Hydro is still around, even though he's in a Darth form. But yeah, man, and I really like what you're doing. You're really killing it, dude. And yeah, you got an auction coming up too, don't you?
Yes, thanks for mentioning that. The next auction will be this Wednesday, July 8th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So see you there. Okay, man, I really appreciate it. And thanks for the compliments, and I will see you soon.
All right, man. Take care. See ya.
Peace.